Oh, it's time. Time to get radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Radical Comment of the Week for September 20th through September 26th, 2021. These are the very best comments from that time period. Starting out with the honorable mentions, we got Art Bell, Lassie Kinnuan 81, and CPE 1704 TKS. The bronze medal going to come to us from GGA 007 Gaming. I don't get it. KOTOR is available on the smart screen on your fridge at this point, no longer an exclusive to everything. All the exclusive shit is going to do is piss off the 70% of the fan base that don't have a PS5. 90% of middle-class families won't go buy a PS5 for one game, no matter what game it is. Even more so, when you can already play the game on literally everything with a screen known to man, people play great games because they are great, not because of the graphics or any of that shit. If Hades winning Game of the Year does not prove that, I don't know what will convince fanboys and the like, other than cold hard proof. Year after year, all these indie games with inferior graphics are winning Game of the Year, and y'all still act like graphics and are all that matter. Also been reading comments, and most people are scared they're going to try and rewrite the game when nothing was really wrong with that part of the game. They are also hiring people that publicly say they don't like KOTOR. Honestly, all I see is this being a train wreck and dealing another huge financial blow in Sony's bank account. Honestly though, how many times can Sony almost fail at everything when they almost have to claim bankruptcy before Sony finally dies? If all this doesn't prove Sony is actually making the worst moves in the gaming industry for the past 10 years, I don't know what will. All these events are well documented and easily attainable. Well, a few things. I don't think Sony's in any way financially to fail. I don't think they are. I don't know where you're getting your information. Not that they haven't actually had mistakes through the years, but there's many points in Sony's portfolio that are highly profitable, specifically, gaming. Also, it is sad that they might try to actually change some of the writing in KOTOR, to kind of woke it up and everything like that. That is very sad, but I'm not sure if that's going to be specifically the case. I have heard reports, though, that some people behind the new KOTOR actually are not completely happy with KOTOR. So, yeah, that might be reason enough to really not care or try to get this, even with the better graphics. Now, you do have a point, though, when you talk about how there's a lot of Game of the Years that actually are indie games with terrible graphics. One game I can point to would be Undertale. I didn't know Hades got the Game of the Year, but yeah, so a lot of time people actually say that they care about graphics, but a lot of time people still will wind up playing things like Minecraft. So yeah, you got a good point there. All right. Moving on to the silver medal, we got Logi, formerly known as Logicost. Stephen A. Smith has been an entertaining media personality for a long time, but somewhere along the way, he forgot that the media landscape changes. You see the difference in presentation style when you look at old videos of First Take when Stephen A. Smith was in heated debates with Skip Bayless. Skip was the troll, and Stephen A. Smith brought his insistence in bombast. It made for great television. People wanted that. They wanted direct conflict and hot takes to talk about amongst their own friend groups. But then Skip saw the writing on the wall. He is very good at getting under people's skin and has a solid grasp on stats. But in the background of a nation sick of constant conflict, he made a switch and paired himself with one Shannon Sharpe. Now, Shannon Sharpe isn't exactly a replacement for Stephen A. Smith so much as a breath of fresh air. He has a playfulness that Stephen A. Smith does not have. He does not appear to take the bait from Skip as hard, and he doesn't react as confrontational as Stephen A. Smith has and continues to. So far as I'm aware, Undisputed has been a better format than First Take for a long time. I think this is directly related to presentation styles, something that Skip picked up on and adapted to. Now that he is nearing the end of his media career, he is almost grandfatherly baiting Shannon, which he is a master at, and it makes for an amusing distraction. Whereas on First Take, the heat between Stephen A. Smith and Kellerman at times made for uncomfortable viewing. People don't enjoy watching heat like that. They don't necessarily want to get angry about sports, they just want something to pick at. And this is where Stephen A. Smith and First Take has failed. As for Stephen A. Smith pushing the narrative of an Irving-Simmons trade, it's somewhat plausible, but remember that Stephen A. Smith has a long history with the 76ers organization and might be media baiting to try to put the 76ers in a better trade position. The Kings ransom that Morey allegedly wants is ridiculous and unreasonable. As constructed, if Simmons is traded, they still have Embiid and Harris. If they got a piece or two in the Simmons trade, which whoever, they would still be projected to go deep into the playoffs. It's time to pass judgment on Ben Simmons. He will never reach LeBron's ceiling, and he will likely never be an all-star again. He is unlikely to improve his game, and he is one serious injury from being a footnote in NBA history, alongside the likes of players like DeMarcus Cousins and Isaiah Thomas. A report has come out that alleges these 76ers teammates were to fly to LA to meet with Simmons to try to mend the relationship. Simmons told them not to come. Disgusting if true. Bum Simmons. I don't know who started talking about how Ben Simmons was probably, what did they say? He was a jump shot away from LeBron James? No, he's not. He's many things away from the level of a LeBron James. So, yeah, he's never going to live up to his potential. I think it's fairly obvious now after watching him for several years. Now, I do agree Undisputed is a better format than First Take, specifically right now. They have a revolving door. They have Michael Irving, who is terrible in the commentary chair. You know, maybe that's the plan. Maybe Stephen A. Smith wants to get these, maybe he just wants to, I don't know what he wants. I'm confused. I know he didn't like being there. He didn't like being there with Max Kellerman. They legitimately had heat, I think mostly on Stephen A. Smith's end. He did not like being there with Max Kellerman. And it just didn't make for it didn't make for the best when it comes to, sports debate shows. But that was far and away better than whatever plan they have right now. People want actual duos. So literally, they got rid of Max Kellerman. Stephen A. Smith could not deal with Max Kellerman anymore because, and mostly I'm not gonna blame Max. It's mostly on Stephen A. Smith's side. He got rid of somebody without having a replacement. It's not like they had somebody in their back pocket going like, okay, we can slot this person in and things will just take right over. I'm like, no, they did not. Now, when it comes to Skip and Shannon, many people will point to that as the best sports commentary show. Might not be the best sports commentary show, but it is probably the best duo currently going. And it's pretty simple. Those two people, they like being there. You can tell that they like each other. Now they get heated. You can tell Shannon sometimes he has to try to put Skip in his place when he starts to troll him a little bit. Like, Skip! Essentially, it's fun to watch Skip and Shannon go back and forth because, they don't have a seething hatred for each other. Although, when you watch Stephen A. Smith and, Max Kellerman, you could tell that off the set, they really don't like each other. And that just makes for very uncomfortable television to watch. Thank you, Logi. Now, the shiny, shiny, shiny gold medal comes to us from none other than Rusty Checkerboard. If I had to guess, I think you have people out there who truly suffer from having no friends, living with depression, growing up with nothing, etc. People who have walked down that path, in most cases, probably wouldn't want anyone else to walk down that same path and experience the same struggles. After all, humans are empathetic creatures. So, when these same people who truly suffer in their lives see some of these YouTubers claim to have no friends, suffer from depression, grew up having nothing, they cannot help but feel empathetic. These people understand what it's like to have no friends, suffer from having depression, grew up having nothing, so they want to help these YouTubers and provide some form of comfort because they probably didn't have anyone to comfort them. Since they are not in physical contact with these YouTubers, the best alternative is to provide donations, send gifts, etc. to these YouTubers in hopes they are no longer suffering or feel cared for by their audience. Is that really the answer, though? No, it's not. People find it easier to give because people these days do not like to work through their problems or to better their lives. Why pester someone to apply for that job or go seek a mental health professional that requires work and goes against how one might feel when you can just give something that will make a person happy in that given moment while bringing a peace of mind to yourself? It's that instant gratification we have become so used to these days that YouTubers would much rather beg their audience for what they want and get it in an instant, while their audience would rather give to feel like they are instantly helping said YouTuber or to be acknowledged. What's worse is that these YouTubers know exactly what they are doing and know perfectly well that people truly struggle from these issues and use it to exploit their audience. Unfortunately, their audience is rather gullible and eat up everything these YouTubers tell them because their guard is entirely down or their mindset is disrupted because of these actual issues that they cannot think clearly for themselves. What's even worse is that platforms seem to be aware of this. The platform seems to be aware of this, even providing assistance to these YouTubers in exploiting their audience to even boost their platforms with the use of super chats and other methods to allow donations to be given and accepted. Unfortunately, I cannot help but think this is only the beginning of an era where e-begging is socially acceptable. Great points there. There's a lot of people that live with depression, and they have to deal with it day to day. I'm not talking about being sad. I'm talking about just draining depression. So sometimes it actually will make some of these people feel better if they come across what they believe to be people that actually have depression. But there's a lot of fakers out there. There's a lot of fake YouTubers that know what the fuck they're doing. And it's disgusting. We've talked about many of them that actually will fake depression. They will fake being sad. They will fake talking about and fake cry about having no friends. And they know exactly why they're doing it. Those like Camelot 331. They know why they're doing it is because they want donations. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to make it any more complicated than it needs to be, Rusty. It's as simple as that. And many of these people do not care where they get those donations. They don't even care if a lot of their donations are going to come from people that are mentally challenged or have depression. You know? They do not care. They don't, you know? Now, if you were actually offering something of substance, of value, if you were actually offering a product in specifics, you know, then it wouldn't be as bad. But I bring up all the time, it seems to shock me that these people that upload these hobby uploads, in many cases, like again, Camelot 331, people that upload themselves just fake crying or fraudulent uploads, just talking about things. They expect heavy donations. They expect thousands of dollars. Who do you think, we ask sometimes, who do you think is giving them these large donations? A lot of the people that give them these large donations are not in the position to actually make the best decisions themselves. And you're right when you say that platforms like YouTube. Yesterday I just talked about, was it super thanks? We don't have the super chat. We have some super thanks. You know, what's disgusting is you have all these means to donate on YouTube, but you have no pop-ups. You have nobody. You have nothing put in place to actually, you know, talk to people, you know, before they donate. There should be like some kind of a thing where you can click on and actually it asks you, okay, what are your reasons for donating? But there's not. There's nothing whatsoever set up in place right here on this platform other than people like myself talking and actually questioning people. Hey, before you donate $50 to this YouTuber, have you actually really thought that through before you donate? It's simple. Just think about it. What are your motivations for giving this random stranger $50 online? And I guarantee you, in most cases, it's not because you really like their content. No, there's something else going on there. And there's some manipulation that is going on there.